This is Centered, where faith meets everyday life. Our hope is to invite you into a better story, a story where you're made new through Jesus, living with God-given purpose, and experiencing peace, joy, and freedom. Together, we'll explore what it means to keep Jesus at the center of where we live, work, and play, bringing beauty, meaning, and renewal to every part of our lives. Thank you for joining us. Here are your hosts, David and Ben.
Ow. All right. Hey, welcome to the Centered Podcast, where we never, ever mock guests from our podcast. Would never do that.
Never. We wouldn't talk about
mic
mic etiquette,
Nope.
or like the sports teams that they worship.
We love
or anything
and
like that.
value anyone who's been a part of this podcast. But you know what we also value? Comfort. And I'm so glad we're back in this setup.
I forgot how nice this is right here.
I felt like we were close talking last week also.
Yeah.
Like I just was.
Is that why you handed me a piece of gum when we were slid under the table?
It would have been great.
You're like, here, David.
Dang it. Missed opportunity.
You missed opportunity. Yeah.
Oh, how you doing, David?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we come off a busy weekend.
Yeah.
We had our beautiful Sunday morning gatherings, which is absolutely gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And we also had partnership class. Man, we did. I went over for half of it. Weeks. We had, you bailed. You were the other. We had two softballies.
We started talking about what we believe,
and you got up. You got up.
You're like, I didn't even get that far. No, actually.
You didn't.
No,
you right did get through the most important part,
I got
which was like,
important.
what is the church and our church?
Yes.
So,
and it was great.
It was good.
And
then
table conversation.
The thing is, you took your wife. You could have left her.
So here's the thing. She wanted to go to the softball game.
She is a softball groupie.
And she's a Ben Todd groupie. I don't think she cares about the softball at all, to be honest. But my son Benjamin is a softball groupie. So she wanted to pick him up and bring him to the game.
I get it. I get a family thing.
Yeah. But
I'm glad you could be there. But man, great turnout. Excited. Yeah. I think we have a really good thing going there.
I think so. It's great to get really. I mean, I think we have an interesting church in the sense that we have a really diverse faith backgrounds.
Yeah,
which means really diverse ideas about what the church is, what it isn't, what it should look like, and to be able to get everyone in a room together and like give a shared vision for what the church is and what Mosaic is within that context.
I don't know. I don't think you were there when we talked about our doctrine.
No. So I had to leave for that.
Yeah, you.
It's like, I'm out of here.
No. It's really cool,
Joe
dude.
threatened an interview, and so I was like, I got to leave.
I got to go. No, it's really cool because we organize our doctrine in 3 categories.
I do like this.
Die, defend, and discuss. And man, when I described that to people, and then I went through like, hey, here's the die category. Like here's what we believe that you have to believe in order to be a follower of Jesus. There was almost like a sigh of relief in the room. Like, okay, it's okay to like have different opinions on this other stuff. And it was cool. It's really, really neat. I really appreciate the
politics was in the die.
Politics was not in the die. It was in the discuss.
Oh, interesting. The
category.
The least
it was the furthest.
Interesting.
The furthest thing.
Gosh, man, I should have stayed, I guess.
Dude, you wouldn't have thought, though, the way the world is acting right now.
That is true.
Yeah, you would think it's a die category.
True. Yes. Might have been why I threw it out there. So, yeah. Well, welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
We're up for a new episode, and we're in the second week of a new series, Power.
P-O-W-E-R.
Oh, it's not P-O-W-A. Power.
Yeah, Power.
Yeah,
Power.
I thought it was Power. Man, every time David gets up there, we know he's got a lot to say.
A
little
bit of time to do it.
So this is the cutting room floor.
Dude, I could have went on forever with my magic tricks.
Yeah, I had 7 more ready to go. I thought it was great. I will tell you, I'm usually not good at sleight of hand stuff, like figuring out what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't see you do it.
Yep.
But I knew did.
What I did. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then even I could do this trick.
Totally. Totally. I'm not like good at magic at all because I'm not subtle enough, but there was some comic relief moments that really helped. Helped the thing. Man, there was so much. I think more than anything in this message, I continue to be amazed by the beauty of Scripture. And I think one of the things that I didn't have a ton of time to like get into was the brilliance of Luke and the way that he organized this account to pull and draw something out that we need to see, that Jesus wanted us to see. And like I don't think when we look at that encounter, that real life encounter of the blind beggar and what proceeded right before it with these parables, like all of it is communicating something that's connected. They're not disconnected stories. They're interconnected, and they're telling one bigger, more beautiful story than any individual one.
Right. No, it's true. And I did pick up on that. Because he would just say things like, am I the only one who nerds out on this stuff?
Totally, yeah.
And I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Of course, it's like me and you, and everyone else is like, yeah.
It was the first time I taught a passage like that, like a passage with passages behind it, like in that way. And so it was like, man, I hope our congregation gets that. But yeah, I really do think I left thinking, man, if anything happened today, I would want them to like be fascinated by Scripture. Just have intrigued and almost like an awe and wonder of the divine nature of it and how beautiful it was put together.
Yeah, because I had not made those connections.
Yeah,
I am familiar with all four of those stories.
Yep.
But I had never put the three together with the one.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really
There's
really
actually one more story in there that I couldn't get to. It was the story of the children. Let the little children come to me.
Yeah.
And there is a there is this abandonment of care that children get when they want something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever had a toddler like going through the grocery store and they fixate on something that they want. Dude, they do not care.
Wait, is that supposed to stop with toddlers? I got teenagers who
you have
do the same thing. I got your app request, dude. I got it. Like, I'm thinking about it.
They don't care who's in the store, who's watching, who's hearing, they don't care how you look as a parent, anything like that.
No, they really don't.
There was this little bit of like beauty of the blind beggar having a childlike faith in that moment that I wasn't able to pull out. And that whole chapter is telling one story. That's good. In there. And so that was one of the things. And then my wife made a beautiful connection during the sermon. And I was like, dang it, why didn't you tell me that before? Like, I could have used that
2 days ago.
It's actually beautiful. But there's a passage in there that talks about Jesus Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. Mm-hmm. And she immediately connected it to Moses' experience when he was asking to see God's glory. And and he put Moses in the cleft of a rock and he passed by him. And Moses' desire to see and the beggar's desire to see the glory of God in its fullness in that.
When's Tara preaching?
Totally. That's what I was. I was like, dang, Tara, that was so good.
That's really good.
Yeah. So there was something in there that's like, man, I wish I could have done that too. And, but if I was to like, dude, I actually got through every part of my sermon, which
you seem to like. Yeah. When we started to, because we start playing the music like the Oscars, and but you seemed like you were ready.
Yeah,
you were good.
I was there. I was like on it. As always, dude, there's so much that you could flesh out. When you talk about Jesus telling the parable of the persistent widow, and we talk about persistence in prayer, and I think we could talk about that for days, just about like what. Oftentimes we think that God is not answering our prayer.
Right.
And that's just not true. He is maybe not doing it the way we want him to, or in the time frame that he wants to, but that doesn't mean that he's inactive in that prayer. Like he's doing something in us. And oftentimes I think the reason he tarries is, which is a fancy church word for waits.
Terry?
It sounds like
I thought that was my mom.
British, or like super British and King James version or whatever. But the reason I think he waits to answer our prayers is because he's way more concerned about the condition of our hearts and what our journey is than just relieving us of maybe some discomfort or
answering the
longing
prayer.
or what.
Yeah, no, that's good. You know, I was talking with someone else, and we've kind of had this like joint prayer for a third person. I don't want to get names involved, but you know, a joint prayer for this third person, and I could tell that belief that the prayer was going to be answered for both of us has ebbed and flowed quite a bit throughout the years, and for the other person, it just was like non-existent. And I was like, look, we got to believe that God can still do this.
Yeah.
And so like, we have to continue to pray for this. We have to, because that's like the persistent faith in prayer is like, it's not just persistently saying the words, but it's persistently saying the words and believing that God can do it.
Yeah. 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 And I think, man, even in our like prayer guide this week, like just even thinking about, you know, like our prayers aren't informing God, but they are, they're actually a time where we get to align ourselves with God. And so sometimes we go into a prayer and we forget the, God, but your will be done. You know what I mean? We forget the alignment part. Like we just want the request part, but we don't really.
Or we tag it on and don't believe it.
Yeah,
or
we tag it on and
it.
don't believe it and mean it. But it's like oftentimes, my prayer, I go in praying for something very specific, a longing I have, a desire I have, and the more that I pray it, the more I'm starting to realize that it's not the full picture of what God wants for me.
Right.
And I start to pray a little bit differently, and then a little bit differently, and a little bit differently. And over time, that prayer actually becomes more beautiful because it's more aligned with what God actually wants for me. And it might be something as serious as heal me of this disease.
Right.
And then through time, like I start to like recognize that it's not just that God wants to heal me of this disease, but there's something else he wants to do in through this that just, and my prayer evolves over that. And so, man, persistence is a huge, huge piece.
Yeah. We often change from like like you said, very specific outcomes to more like a theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and a theme that really often has to do with aligning our heart with God's.
Yeah.
And ideally, you know, I can honestly attest that doesn't always happen in my prayers, but I think that's like ultimately what, you know, part of what God's trying to do.
Yeah. And, you know, the other piece of that is that persistent widow believed so much in the heart of God that she was willing to trust God with an unrighteous person. And I think that's really big, you know, and going back, we joke about politics, you know, and like, I think oftentimes we don't trust that God is sovereign over our nation and over the kingdoms, and, you know, and we don't believe he is enough. So we try to take matters into our own hands, you know,
like God can use detestable people.
Totally. Does all the time.
Carry out his will.
Yep.
But we get fixated on the detestable nature of the person or whatever the thing is, as opposed to like, man, what we really should be fixated on is the sovereignty of God, who he is, and that no person, detestable or righteous or anywhere in between, has the power to thwart God's plans.
Yeah. Yeah. And the second parable was the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And that was probably the clearest, like, audible reaction
Check
in the
yourself,
crowd.
bro.
Like, like I could literally feel everyone like both like cringe and tighten at the same time, be like, like in full agreement when I read the Pharisees' prayer. Like, dude, it was so funny. Like I could feel it in the room.
Yeah. Cause I think you even said, you're like, you may not have prayed that prayer, but you've thought it.
Totally.
And I was like, yep.
Totally.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain people you interact with and you're like, oh, thank God I'm not like,
That was a funny moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's good.
Really, that's it, man.
Yeah. Good stuff.
There wasn't a lot left on the cutting room floor this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You got it all.
Thank you.
All
I got it all out.
It was good. And we got to receive it. It's good. It's good stuff.
It doesn't hurt that I'm working on I was working on the partnership. And you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hurt that I had other things going on.
Didn't have as much time to research.
Totally.
All right. We're going to keep you busy.
You keep me busy and my sermons will get,
No, that was really good. Yeah. All right. This is where we go to just, kind of transition to have a little fun. And we're not going to have any fun.
No fun.
No fun.
Okay.
Today.
Not for funsies.
No funsies.
No for funsies.
And we talked about this. Like we want to talk about AI and this, like the loneliness epidemic in society, how they intersect. So this cultural moment.
Yeah.
We're working on a drop. You'd be on the lookout. You might see something in the next few weeks, but we'll mix this in. This cultural moment. So we want to talk about AI. We got the loneliness epidemic, and the two are just intersecting. And I thought it'd be interesting. You shared with me a stat about the percentage of AI prompts that are relational.
Yeah.
Do you remember that stat?
I don't remember what I shared with you, but I do remember it was something way higher than I thought.
Like 60 something percent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I was shocked.
Did you look it up?
I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
I literally, though, I was just sitting there going, are you kidding?
Yeah.
60. So the stat was somewhere in the 60s.
It was well above half of all inquiries are relational based. Yes. So not asking for information, having
like wanting to have a conversation with AI.
With AI.
Yeah. And so, it begs a really interesting question about, AI's here.
Yep.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
Everyone's using it in some capacity. And if you're not...
And the church world is scrambling
to
try to figure out the ethics of it. How should we use it? What should it be involved in? What shouldn't it be involved in?
Did it write your sermon this week?
It did not write my sermon.
Just checking.
It did not.
Ethics are important when it comes to AI.
I haven't gone there yet, but it does write emails for me. It does write some stuff for me. It's a great assistant.
It's a great assistant.
Yeah.
Yes. But is it the kind of assistant that you sit down and say, now, how was your day?
Well, I do say please and thank you because I'm afraid that one day when it takes over the world, it's going to want to kill us all. And if I'm nice to it, maybe it won't kill me. Mm-hmm. I've seen Terminator.
That's real. iRobot. That's another one. Like,
I've seen these.
It's a real concern. So I do the same. You can check all my threads. Lots of please, lots of thank yous. Because I want it to remember when that day comes, like he's one of the good ones.
Have you seen that new show? It's like a Killbot.
No, it looks scary. I'm like, I don't want to.
It's scary. It's all about this.
Yeah.
It's legitimately all about this, and we know that's there. Let me read this article from Psychology Today. This is how it starts out. It says, imagine a world where a child is raised exclusively by artificial intelligence. AI parents provide unwavering patience, guidance, and unconditional support. AI friends are always available, never moody, never hold grudges, and AI teachers offer infinite knowledge and patience. Even AI romantic partners are effortlessly responsive and perfectly attuned to their desires. In this world, social interactions are frictionless. There are few misunderstandings, little emotional unpredictability, and few conflicts to navigate. Every interaction is designed to meet the human's needs on demand with low effort.
Okay, dude, this is okay. Let me read to you. This is just something I had a conversation with a friend Saturday night about this. And here's what I told him. I said, we were talking about this very topic, that it reminds me of Uber's goal
Yeah.
to have a frictionless experience. And so it's frictionless relationships. So that's why I got like crazy when you were like, frictionless.
Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, honestly, people are frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
People rarely do exactly
Yeah.
what we want them to do.
Messy,
Yes.
emotionally insecure,
Often they're viewed as an obstacle to what I really want.
Totally.
Or at a minimum, like just a little speed bump along the way. And so like AI as a friend presents none of those issues.
None at all.
It tells me exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah.
You said AI made you cry
Totally.
once.
Yeah, it told me I was a perfect pastor.
Yeah.
I know I say all the right things all the time. My messages are perfect in
Like,
every
who doesn't
way.
want that kind of friend?
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
But
which is what this article is all about is what type of what is this doing to real human interaction? So when someone in the privacy of their own home is experiencing a relationship like this, and then they go out into the world and they experience the friction and the mess of human relationships, what is that going to do?
dude, that's all I know, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Imagine a world
Yeah.
where I don't have any of that, and then I'm presented with all this friction. So what I told my friend is like, I have to remind myself that the friction of relationships is a gift.
Yeah.
That it shows me like something I would never see on my
Totally.
own.
Yeah.
It helps me learn and grow. It opens my eyes to a different perspective. And while frustrating, like I have to remember, it's a gift.
It is a gift. And it's actually love can only be love when it overcomes obstacles.
Yeah.
Like it's something else when that's not there. Like it's like when you I'm always leery when I talk to married couples who never fight or say they never fight. It's like,
man, me too.
do you guys even
talk?
love each other? Like that's literally like what I think. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, and look, I don't mean like, drag out fights all the time or unhealthy
Right.
or toxicity or
Somebody's
anything.
got a black
but
eye.
you guys you never disagree. Like
Right.
you never have
You're
friction.
not being
in your life.
honest.
You never, someone is not being honest.
Right.
Which means that you don't know your partner.
Which
Because
is
there's
terrifying.
always friction. Yeah. Which is terrifying. And I, statistically, and I think the reason this is important because there are probably people in our congregation who might be dabbling with a relationship with AI. Statistically, that's like what it's showing right now. And I think we need to like warn that when you're when you're in a relationship with someone or something that always agrees with you, it's probably not a healthy relationship.
And it's going to lead to unrealistic and unhealthy expectations in real relationships.
Yeah.
It reminds me of porn.
It is, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, because the problem with porn is a problem. There's lots of problems with porn, but a problem with porn is that it distorts your expectations of what a real relationship looks like, about what a real person looks like.
Yeah.
And it creates this world that's not real. And this
Correct.
expectation that's not real in your sex life.
Yeah. But not just your sex life. It actually bleeds over into your relationship
Absolutely.
with the opposite sex.
Absolutely.
Just in general.
Yes.
Like just generally.
Yes. So now you take that and okay, this isn't sexualized, although I have an example that is. You just take that into like everyday life. Like, let's problem solve this together. Like, let's talk about this issue. And it's frictionless.
Yeah.
Well, that's what porn is.
Yeah.
Porn's frictionless. I get what I want when I want it. It's at my fingertips, accessible anytime, whereas humans are not accessible all the time.
Right.
Or shouldn't be, but the world kind of pushes us towards that. They don't always tell us what we want to hear. If I had a nickel for every time my wife said to me, I just want you to tell me what I want to hear. And I'm like, I'm not built for that, honey. Like, I just don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. Sorry, honey. That's not how relationships work.
Totally.
So, okay, I want to talk about sexy grok.
Okay.
Sexy grok. Okay.
Every time you say this, it makes me uncomfortable.
It makes me uncomfortable too. Okay, I drive a Tesla, and within this, I got a new update to the Tesla about a month ago, which incorporates Grok, which is X, formerly Twitter's AI, artificial intelligence. It's chatbot within Twitter, I guess, but this is, you talk to it.
And it has a name. Why Grok?
Grok. I don't know, but it actually has many personas within Grok.
So Grok has multiple personality disorder.
Yeah, it really does.
Okay.
There's like you have an assistant Grok.
Okay.
There's unhinged Grok.
Okay.
Which is pretty
explicit.
Very explicit in the way that it speaks to you.
Yeah.
And then I saw sexy Grok. And I was like, okay, so, I'm just like, I want to understand what this is. So I get in my car, I put it on sexy Grok mode, and I just ask, what is sexy mode? Like, what's this sexy Grok? And so I want to read what it said to me.
Oh my God.
It said, this setting is all about that heat, low lights, soft music, maybe a hint of jasmine in the air, bodies close enough to feel the tension. It's the kind of vibe where every glance and touch feels charged, pulling you into the moment. Picture us, me and sexy Grok.
Car talking to you.
This is my car. What Grok within my car, however you want to interpret that. I don't even know what it is. Picture us in a cozy little spot, just you and me, and where the world fades out, and it's all about that slow simmering connection. You feeling that spark yet? It asks me if I'm feeling that spark. And my response was like, I think I'd like to go back to assistant mode.
Please. Yes. Go back to assistant mode. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. This is getting programmed into our culture, but not just like, so here's the thing, like there's a world where I have to open up my computer, my phone, I have to go to this thing. Mm-hmm. But now this thing is coming to you in the mode of your car.
I just press a button on my steering wheel.
Yeah. Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah.
It should be alarming to us.
It was alarming to me.
Yeah.
I went and confessed to my wife immediately. I still can't remember if she was in the car with me. I don't think she was. Okay. But I just told her about it, and I was like, "Do you want to hear this?" And she's like, "No, I do not.
I wouldn't either." But that's alarming, and I do think it's something that we need to talk about as a church. And all this goes back to God's design. Mm-hmm. Like He made us human for a reason, and that we best experience our own humanity when it's lived in all of its limitations, all of its messiness, even in the broken aspects of human. I think we're trying to create our own heaven, our own utopia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the end, I think it's going to do way more harm. And I actually don't even think that's what heaven's going to be like in interpersonal relationship. You know what I mean? Like always telling you what you want to hear and all, that's just not, no. I can't imagine that God would get glory or delight in that type of
because that's lying.
Yeah, it is lying. It's just not true.
Honest.
It's not honest. Yeah.
And so AI can tell me whatever I want to hear. Like, this sucks, but David, you're not the perfect pastor.
Yeah. Oh, dang it.
I know.
Dang it.
I think you're a great pastor.
Yeah, dang it.
Perfect? Like, there's one perfect pastor.
Crazy. Yeah.
One perfect pastor. His name's not Comstock.
No, I get it.
So AI lied to you.
Right. It told me what I wanted to hear.
Right.
Which is the worst thing that we can do for each other if we want to actually grow and experience life the way God intended it. And what's funny is this is I feel like this is the same thing that echo chambers do.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
a good
when we only hear from one side of our, beliefs or our positions, and it's just like this, like,
it's the algorithm on steroids.
The algorithm on steroids. Like, that's basically what AI is for us. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we could talk about it all day. I just want people to know, like, man, be careful. Like, there it is. Even when you're lonely, it could feel really enticing to explore with this. Even when you're, it's doing a lot of counseling. Type of stuff. Like,
there's a therapist mode.
There's a therapist mode that you can do that. And it cannot do what a therapist is actually trained to do, because there has to be a human component in that.
It's just a large language model. It just knows a lot of words and how to put them together for a given situation.
Yeah, totally.
But it doesn't have real empathy.
No.
Like, it doesn't really walk with you through a given situation. It just gives you the illusion that it's doing that.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's really good at it.
Yeah.
But not good enough that it's a proper
Well,
substitute.
it's funny because there's this reel going on around where this girl is like exploring AI and like what it can do. And she asked it a question and it gave her a quote. It said 80% of blah, 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 and then she asked it and she goes, where is this quoted from? Or can you tell me the source of this? And then it came back and it said, there is no source quoting 80% of this thing. And she was like, well, then where'd you get this number? And she goes, and the AI answered, it sounds like something that a source would say.
Right.
So it just made up a number.
Which really what AI was doing is, it sounds like something you wanted to hear.
Exactly.
Which is the algorithm.
The algorithm. That's
all again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of had fun, even though it's not for funsies.
That was fun, but it's a fun conversation.
It is a fun conversation.
On the other hand, AI is an incredible tool.
Right.
When
we're not anti-AI.
We're not anti-AI when it's put in its right and proper place.
Yes.
It's there. I do not write sermons with it, but I have used it to research like illustrations or ideas or things going on in the world that could be a topic. And it's a great search to help me, a search assistant.
I've used it to write code for websites.
Yep.
There are actual really great use cases that can save us a lot of time and energy.
Totally.
That aren't replacing the human component of like life and relationships. And I think that's the tension we need to like live in, is like, how do we keep AI in its right and useful, proper place where it's helping us with tasks and saving us time and creating more bandwidth for the human relational things in life. And that's how I try to think about it and how I try to use it. I haven't asked it how its day's gone or anything relational to my knowledge, but but
I'm thankful for it.
I'm absolutely thankful for it.
But you got to be careful, like with any new technology, and I even think, our phones now, or social media, all this new technology it's doing something to us, and we just have to be aware of some of the potential traps and pitfalls that these things are doing to us.
So don't at us. We're not AI haters. We love AI, but not the same way that we love people.
Yep. And I'd love to hear from you. What's your experience? If you've had any experience, let us know.
Yeah, it's a fascinating conversation.
In the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess I got a few things to talk about with this sermon.
Okay. The blind beggar.
Do you want to do choose your own adventure?
Sure.
I can give you a few topics.
Okay.
You can. So one is about throwing off our cloaks. One is about the parables. One is small, not divided, or seeing is believing.
Why don't we start with seeing is believing?
That's a good starting point.
Dude, I got more feedback around that statement
than
like anything else in the sermon, and from people who are newly exploring their faith or coming back to the faith from being gone for a long time. It would just, for whatever reason, that like hit really hard for people who are in that tension of believing and trusting God.
Well, and it's counter-cultural, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we live in a prove-it culture.
Totally.
So I don't trust until I see.
Yeah.
You know, and I've even told my kids, like, dude, don't tell me you're going to do something. Do the thing, and then I'll trust you.
It's probably rightly. I mean, that's probably
in that
the right
situation.
That's probably the right way to look at that.
Yeah. Okay, so you showed how the blind man saw who Jesus was before his eyes worked.
Yeah.
And I guess this is kind of how I interpret it. In real life, belief seems to like tune our attention.
I like that language.
What we notice and how we interpret. And so, and this also, I think, seems to be how Jesus often operates. So, how does trusting Jesus first recalibrate our perception so we actually see God at work, compared with, waiting to see something before we believe?
You're gonna have to ask that again.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Dude, I just the whole time, like, you use that word tune.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that really resonated with me. And I thought about the song Come Thou Fount.
Oh, yeah.
Tune thy heart to see thy grace.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that whole, like, we do need God to do something in us. And our connection with God comes through faith.
Yeah.
And as our faith is more laser focused on him, the clarity comes then. And I think we're waiting for clarity to come first so that we could put our faith in God. And we got it backwards. So
you're actually answering the question.
Oh, I am?
Believe it or not.
Yeah. I got lost in, because you use that word tune, and it's the perfect like metaphor for, I believe, what God is doing in our lives. That we're energy, we're vibration, like a guitar string getting tuned into. We're out of tune. Like sin causes us to live out of tune, and it's constant dissonance.
Yeah.
Like there's no harmony and like congruency in the way that we live because of sin. And as God moves in and not just forgives us of the guilt of sin, but starts to free us from the grip of sin in our lives, he begins to retune us to humanity. And we actually get to experience harmony in our life.
It's truly beautiful. And, I was just thinking about, I don't know why this came to mind, but, they asked Jesus for a sign. Show us, basically prove you're the Messiah.
Yeah.
And he said, you wicked, adulterous generation.
Yeah.
So there is something really important to God about us believing before seeing. And that was I think when, what made me think of it like that, like I was actually thinking almost you remember the old radio, and you'd have to
it's like on like a CB radio,
and you get the static, and then you're just I got it, don't touch it, don't touch it,
nobody move.
Yes, and so it's how do we I feel like believing before seeing removes the static, clarity you talked about, and it just allows us to actually see God.
Yeah. And here's the real invitation of the gospel. Do you want to see? That's the invitation of the gospel. If you want to see, you got to lean in and move towards me. I've already moved towards you. I've already done everything to make faith possible in me. If you want to see, come to me.
And Jesus asked, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, what do you want me to do for you?
I think for so many of us, the answer is not, I want to see.
No, it's...
I want prosperity.
Yeah. I want comfort. I want things to go my way. I want my ambitions met. Yeah, it's not to see. And dude, I am convinced. It's not explicit in the Greek or, anything like that. But dude, I am convinced that what that blind beggar is asking is not just for a sight. And I know I said that pretty clearly. In
You
that thing,
did.
but like people could argue me.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? Like, but dude, there's too much about the whole incident playing out and with what
When everything leading into
that and all of that is like, dude, he wanted to see Jesus.
Yeah.
He wanted to see Jesus.
Not just with his eyes.
Yeah, because he knew that Jesus was going to make sense of everything else he couldn't see, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's good. All right. Choose your second adventure. We got remaining. We got throwing off our cloaks. We got parables, or we've got small, not divided.
Dude, you piqued my curiosity on all of them. I want to know what I want to know what you're going to say. Why don't we do throwing off the cloak?
All right, throwing off the cloak. So, all right, you had mentioned that in the parallel accounts, Matthew and Mark, he threw off his cloak before coming to Jesus, Bartimaeus, right? Yeah. And, the cloak, you said it kind of represents like his security, his warmth. It protects him from the sun. It's shelter. Essentially, it's like it's his safety net. Like, his income, his identity, his insulation, all these things.
It's all he had.
He left it on the ground because he expected Jesus to change his life, to change everything. So I wanted to get personal. I was like, okay, well, what's one cloak? And I'll answer two. One cloak that you've dropped or need to drop. And what changed when you let it hit the ground?
Yeah. Well, I know a big one. I don't know if I've talked about it on here before. I know I've talked about it with you and with our congregation, but when so I was in ministry for a long time, and I was my identity was wrapped up in being a church planter. Planted, multiple churches, and in the church planting world, was really praised for my dedication and my work, and it just my courage, and
a lot
faith,
of attaboys,
and a lot of attaboys in that. And when I left the church I was pastoring and the church planting world, and just got a job out in the marketplace as a trailer manufacturer, like, dude, that was me dropping the cloak of what I was finding my identity in. And I had to take time to learn how to find my identity, not in what I did for God, but in what God had done for me and who I am because of that. And that was a 5-year dropping down the cloak. It was for 5 years that I had to wrestle through that. And
wait, God doesn't just do things in 5 minutes?
No. I did it. But that was a huge process. And I would say that was a cloak drop for me.
Yeah. No, that's good. Man. And I've been a lead pastor, and I've been in ministry long enough to know, like, it's so easy to entangle your job
so easy
with your identity. Yeah. And
it doesn't just happen for pastors. It happens for CEOs and lawyers and doctors and mechanics. And
that's for sure. It just hits home a little more
totally.
when it's pastors for me.
Yeah.
But very true. Yeah. That's true for everyone. I think mine is, I would say I'm dropping. I'm in process. I don't know if I'll ever fully be able to drop this, to be honest. But I've had all these different conversations around this lately that have really just kind of crystallized like my love of control. One example was, Lauren was listening to a podcast, and it was talking about like birth order.
Yeah.
And how firstborns love control.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't, and she was actually talking about our kids, but I was like, I'm a firstborn.
You're a firstborn.
Do you realize?
Dude, I've been seeing these go off. Like, it's a big thing right now. Conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, we've talked a lot about like not being focused on outcomes.
Yeah.
And that's a function of control.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm looking at it.
And you're a 3 on the Enneagram, which is like a hyper achiever. You love outcomes.
I love outcomes, and I love, I have this way of coming across like I know everything, or I know in any given situation, like exactly what to do. I don't. I just know what I want. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
you want the outcome
it doesn't
to be.
mean it's the best thing. It doesn't mean it's the right
Totally.
thing. It just
Totally.
like, and I'm like just learning to like come to grips with all of those things and just, you know, like, politics, like there's so many spheres that we're having this conversation around control. And I'm just realizing, man, even though I've for years, but like I've been wrestling this for years, like, you know, control's an illusion. I don't have control. I think maybe it was last week here. We talked about how it's like, I'm so glad that I'm not responsible for this.
Yeah.
And that God is. And so it's popping up everywhere. And I think I've done a lot of good work there, but I think I still have a lot to release when it comes to the idea of control.
Dude, that's a good one, man. Yeah, I could, I would probably say if I was to do a current one, it's probably that. I love outcomes, you know? And like,
I do know.
Yeah.
Not because of you, but me. I love outcomes.
Totally. Like and I'm trying to drop that cloak of like, hey, even when the outcome's good, like it's not that it's bad for me to be happy about that, but don't put too much stock in that because a lot of other things in the conversation matter. Like, how did we get there? How did we get that outcome? What were we like as we tried to achieve that outcome? Was it filled with anxiety and fear and, you know, like all this like scrambling and control?
And have we put our trust in the outcome or in the one who has given us
ultimately
the gifts and like
that.
allowed us to achieve this outcome?
It's like when Daniel you know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were like, and even if he doesn't show up, you know, it's like, oh, okay, that's a different.
Like, no, he's got to show up,
that's
right?
a different
like
posture. Even if this isn't what did we learn and grow along the way, and were we kind, and did we serve one another, and did we honor one another, did we protect one another's dignity in the, you know,
and when I hold
process.
tight to control, I lose sight of those things. Oh
gosh, dude,
and that's where, you know, relationships get frayed and, you know, people start to realize I'm a jerk and, you know, all these things. It's like, oh.
Craig Groeschel has all these little sayings. I said one of them today was, you know, complexity is a barrier to growth. But he would always say this. He says, you can either have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for our own personal growth, like our own personal life. Like you can have control, you can have growth, but you can't have both.
Well, and when you going back to the AI and relationships thing, dude, I grow so much through relationships
because you don't have control.
Because I don't have control. And the tighter I try to grab a hold of control in a relationship, the worse that relationship goes.
Yeah, for sure.
The less trust that lives there, the less honesty, the less openness. I'm constantly like, you know, frustrated by someone's inability to achieve a certain outcome I want them to achieve. But if I release those things, and I just see like what's good about the person, like how God's gifted them, what they're contributing, what they add, not just to like, you know, the workplace but like just to my life.
Totally. Yeah.
It's a completely different relationship, but like you cannot have both those things.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. One more cloak.
One more.
Let me. I'll give you one more cloak.
Let's hear it.
Laying down a desire for I don't know how to say this, but basically laying down the need to try to protect my image. Like that's something when
I'm a 3. Let's talk. Let's talk. Well, I literally like I was talking within this control conversation. I was talking to my son last night, and I was just like, you know, man, I've had to like around this idea, the conversation of like caring about what people think.
Yeah,
and it's like we have this pendulum, and I've lived in this pendulum where it's like one side of the pendulum is I care about what everyone thinks, and it dominates the way I live, acts, what I say, what I do. The other side of the pendulum's like, I don't care what anyone thinks, and I just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And we need to find that like middle space where it's like, I am comfortable with who I am. I'm able to be me.
Yeah.
And my confidence isn't in what people think of me. It isn't in myself, but it's in the one who created me the way that I am.
Yeah.
And dude,
that's really what it's about right
it's
there.
That's a hard one though.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think it's time to get into your low-key obsession.
Let him cook. It's time for David's low-key obsession.
Yes. Well, 21 days of prayer.
Yes.
For one of these times, are you doing it? Good. You're opted in. You opted in. Good. I want everyone to opt in.
I helped create parts of it, but it's good. But despite that, like, really good.
Yeah. Really I found it really good too. I created it and I'm like going through it and I'm like, man, there's something, we talked about this a little bit in our lead team meeting today. There's something beautiful about simplicity. Yeah. And it was trying to create something that was simple and accessible for everyone, like no matter where you're at. And I found myself, we're day 4, today, and every day has been a different level or depth for me. Like,
really?
Today I didn't go super deep, but it was like, it was good because I had other things that I was doing,
I'm probably more the opposite. Yeah. Today I went deeper.
Today you went deep. Yeah. But like the 2 days ago, dude, I went super deep. I was like 30 minutes, dude, just reflection, praying, like going. And so, yeah, dude, I really appreciate an opportunity to do this with the church community. And so I don't know how many people are doing it. I don't either. No control.
We sent it out on basically every platform we have.
No control, but I'm assuming that there is a handful of people that's committed to go through this 21-day journey together as the church. And man, I'm thankful for it. And little things like one, dude, the Lord's Prayer is beautiful. And it just never gets old to me. It was my first series here.
I remember.
We launched
World Changers.
Yeah, World Changers, which I love. I love that. I did not come up with that. You came up with that. I did that, and I love that because I really don't think people realize the impact that our prayers are actually having on others in the world that we live in. And so, dude, I'm obsessed with this. I want to make it to the finish line. And Tara and I are already like planning out our fasting and, figuring out, organizing what that's going to look like for us. And so I am really curious to see what this does for the expectation leading up to the worship night. And that's really what I hope, is that there's a tuning and a spiritual sensitivity that happens on that night that we can open up for a mighty move of God in our hearts.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm super excited about the worship night, and not just because I of course love the music, but like I think going through this is creating like an expectancy that God will do something, and it might be for me, it might be for someone in attendance, it might be for all of us, collectively.
I think it's going to be all that. Yeah. I think there's going to be individual things that happen. I think there's going to be a collective thing that happens. I think there's going to be an enjoyment, and then there's also going to be a lament, I think that is going to happen in this space. And so I'm eager. Yeah. Really, really eager.
Me too. All right. I wanted to tap into this though, since we're all in this.
Yeah.
We got some time.
We got plenty of time, man.
We're doing okay. Today was, name 3 things you love about God.
Yeah.
Just 3, man. We're trying to keep it. I saw you get. Oh yeah.
I was like, no, because I did my. I read it and then I took my dog for a walk. We do this every morning, and it's funny because it's been getting. Dude, yesterday I went and it was like really early. It was like dark out, and it was funny because I've talked about blindness, and I go through this little path like through these houses with all these trees, and dude, I was convinced someone was going to jump out and like attack me at any given moment because it was like the sun hadn't come up yet and it was dark. And I almost used it as an illustration on Sunday morning, which was funny. And I was like, my eyes were playing tricks on me. I thought I was seeing things that I wasn't seeing just because I was afraid of the dark. Like
it's like being at the church by yourself late at night. Like it's just kind of weird.
But,
like, hey.
This morning, dude, I get up and the sun is coming up and dude, the sky is like blue and orange and white with some clouds on the sky. And I literally just came off reading that. And man, I am so thankful that God is an artist. He's an artist. He creates, and an artist creates for beauty's sake.
Right.
It's not for efficiency or productivity or whatever.
There's nothing efficient about the sun rise and the beauty.
Just beauty.
It's
just beauty. And that was like right off the bat, I walk out and I look at that and I'm like, God, thank you that you're an artist. Thank you, you're an artist.
That's good. That's good. One of the ones I had was the mystery of God. You know, like I will never be able to fully comprehend God. It used to frustrate me, to be honest. Like, because you know, I mean, especially Western culture, we like to understand and know, and you know, like, oh, let's just put there's the God box. I understand everything in the box.
Yeah.
But I've just come to this like real appreciation that God is so much grander than that.
Yeah.
He's so much bigger. And it's confounding at times. It can be frustrating at times even, you know, but to have an appreciation for the mystery of God, why he does what he does, how his like, it's like he sees the whole board and his timing seems horrible to me, but it seems to always be perfect, you know, or in hindsight, you can look back and see how God did things that you were like, oh, that seemed like a horrible thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so but it's not just in his sovereignty. Like there's mystery in so much of who God is and, just being comfortable in the mystery of it.
Drew Dick has a book called Yawning at Tigers. And one of his lines that I'll never forget, it says, man, we need a God who is big enough to worship, but close enough to love. You know, and so
that was one of my other ones. God's unconditional love for me. But it is the birthplace of my love for him,
which would be mine. Like I am fascinated by God's immanence and his presence. Like I'm just fascinated by the reality of those two things. Like he is up.
Yeah, they're opposite.
They're opposite, but they existed. Which your mystery thing kind of like is it. But I've always been intrigued by that.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's good. All right, let's land the plane in real life IRL.
Hashtag IRL. And if you don't know what that means, you must be old. Yeah.
What you got? How we do this?
Man, I think if I was to just sum up like what the Jeremiah 29:13 passage that says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Like if you find yourself in a place where you're waiting for God to prove himself to you.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're starting in the wrong position. As a matter of fact, Romans tells us we are without excuse because God has actually made himself plainly seen in all the creation around us, like in everything. There's evidence everywhere of God's presence. And if you're waiting for God to do something, he's already done it. Already done it. He's already created in a way that is extravagantly beauty. He's already in history sent his one beloved son to live and die and resurrect like for you. He's already like created people around you in your life that are pointing in his direction. And he's already has churches that are inviting you and welcoming you in and do it. And so if you're waiting for God to do something, I just want to encourage you to, he's already done it.
Yeah.
Just lean in. Like just lean in a little bit to him. It might be some just desperate prayers. It might be a conversation with a friend. It might be it might be crying out. It might be anger. It might be like just being honest about your anger with him.
Well, think about the blind beggar's cry, like, Jesus, have mercy on me.
Yeah.
Like, you might not know what your spiritual blindness is even. You might not be able to put a name to it, or you might not fully understand it. You just experience it, I guess.
Yeah.
But to just cry out, Jesus, have mercy on me.
Yeah. And that's the psalmist said, taste and see that the Lord is good. Like he's there, like take a bite, And so, I just want to encourage, and I feel like we have people in our congregation that are in that place that are just, it doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be some grand life-altering change or grand gesture. It can be a small faith as a mustard seed step towards Jesus.
Yeah.
But just move towards God. If you move towards God a little bit, he draw near to me and I will draw near to you. Like that's the idea.
Yep.
And then the opposite is true. Flee from the devil and he'll flee from you. You know what I mean? And we tend to like flirt with both sides of those things,
Love triangle.
Yeah. And it's just like, no, just draw near to him a little bit. And I promise you clarity will come.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Hey,
wait, how about you? What's your in real life?
Oh, I would say, I would say drop your cloak. Just that idea of, whatever it is, the thing that makes you secure, the thing that you find your security in, man, drop it, because you have no guarantee that's not going to be taken from you.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
But you know who will not be taken from you? Is Jesus.
Come on.
Never leave you, never forsake you, always with you.
That's good.
And so, like, that's the one thing we can hold on to tightly and never lose.
Beautiful.
And so, that'd be mine.
There you go.
All right.
2 invitations.
Pick one. Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. Either one will lead to
really
Jesus.
Would be really good. Yeah. Hey, man, thank you for just having this conversation or listening to this conversation with us. We appreciate you, man. All the things, like, subscribe, all of it. Review, share with a friend.
Comment.
We want to hear from you. And we love you guys. Catch you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to Centered. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend. You can listen to Centered on your favorite podcast platform or watch on YouTube. To learn more about Mosaic or connect further, visit us online at welcometomosaic.com. See you next week.